Hi everyone. Super happy to be back, and I have an interesting video, as you can see by the title below. Um, it's about how to go from student visa to permanent residence, and I think this starts way earlier than you think. It starts before you actually apply to a college or university. It's a video that I really wanted to do when I was still a student, and now that one of my subscribers asked me for help, or not really help, but advice on certain stuff, I'm like, yeah, you're not the only one having that issue. Like, I've seen that a couple of times, and if you please have any question or issues, I would really like for you to leave it down below so that other people can see it and other people can actually discuss and stuff like that. So now, why do I say that it comes before you actually applied for university? Okay, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, and you know how direct I am. I think that education agencies, like agent that help you to come to Canada or look for college, or I'm gonna be direct, scams, because they get paid commission about how many students they send to the college and how many people they can recruit. So, if ever you have to apply, just a side note, if you have to apply to the college, I would say apply directly to the college on the website, or ask a friend to do. If you have family here, ask them to do that during the open virtual tour, because you don't pay for admission fee when you're in a when you go for an agent, you do that, and then the agent will also, most of the time, I see that a lot with Indian students, most of the time will just sell you dreams and sell you anything just for you to be able to take to apply with them. One thing which is very common is that um, they would ask you to go for a subject that you don't like. I had friends who did that, and they're like, I don't like my subject and I want to change. And when they want to change, they have to restart and they have to pay more money. So that's number one. Number two is that they were like, as long as you get into the country, you get into the country. And they would sell you certificate, especially if you have a master or you have a bachelor. They would sell you a postgraduate diploma, which is, I think, one more year on top of the diploma, or they will sell you a certificate, which is 8 months, 1 year. They would say it's 1 year, but 1 year of school, like schooling. Oh my god, 1 year of schooling, college is actually 8 months. So why does that matter when it comes to PR? When it comes to PR, like I said, it comes on a system, pointing system base. And while, yes, you can be lucky and be like, hey, I'm just passing on the dot, you want to put all the chances on your side. And the way you do that is by doing things properly, or like not leaving anything on the table, or not leaving anything to luck, or stuff like that. If you're very lucky, good for you, but I rather put all the chances on my side. So one of them is having a 2 year whatever thing, a master, which is 2 years, um, a bachelor is 4 years, a diploma is 2 years. But if you go for a certificate, after you finish school, you're gonna apply for postgraduate work permit. A postgraduate work permit allows you to be able to work freely. And I think I'll do a separate video on what's the difference between a postgraduate work permit and an open work permit, and a non-open work permit, because that is another thing as well. And it has to come with LMIA and all these kinds of things. I am not a consultant, an immigration consultant. If you need help, I can refer you to a friend of mine who has experience, and she's been in the field for 6 years. So yeah. So whenever you're gonna go for your postgraduate work permit, they will only give you for 8 months, because you have a certificate of 8 months, and you can only apply for postgraduate work permit one. So let's say you have a postgraduate work permit and then you say like, oh, it's not enough for me to get the points to apply for PR. I want to go back to school. And after you go back to school and you have this like second certificate, which is 2 years, you're like, oh, maybe I have another postgrad. No, you're not. You can only apply for this one time only. So do things properly, and then you can apply for your postgraduate work permit, which will allow you to have at least 3 to 4 years. 3 years. I did a diploma of 2 years. I got a postgraduate work permit of 3 years, which allowed me to work and have enough time to process my PR as well. But when you have like only a certificate of 8 months, uh, you'll have 8 months of work permit, and it's not enough to be able to apply. If you have other stuff like friends and not friends, family, babies, and again, I always say that don't go and make babies, just because it's a really bad idea. Um, it can like like it weighs on your point system. I speak French, so this, but you just want to put every chance in instead of like, now let's say you've already done your certification, and then you have a you are about to apply for postgraduate work permit. What are your options? I would say extend your student visa and take another certificate, or there are programs. I know in Ontario. I know I'm in Alberta, but I came in Alberta on a postgraduate work permit, so I don't know. Like I haven't had time to like understand the system, but I know in Ontario you do have it, where there are programs that help you get that PR. So, for example, you would be working as a manager at Tim Horton, and they would like uh, it's an LMI assessment, so they would help you work towards your PR. So that's another way of doing it. What you could do as well, depending on programs, depending on on provinces, each province has different programs. You can try. I haven't really dived deep into that, but I know Nova Scotia, I know New Brunswick, or the Atlantic program of the Northern Territories. You can try that as well. In that way, you do not necessarily need to be in a NOC A or a NOC B. You can, like Nova Scotia, I know you can be a NOC D or NOC C and get a job and try to apply. Like it really depends. And right now at the moment there are lots of laws and things that are changing, so keep an eye on that so that it can help you. So I think so this is how you can go from student to permanent residence, like when you choose where you want to go. So choose your program, what program you want to go, which province it is, what is the sector of a province, because each province is different. Here in Alberta, it's oil. It's also IT. In Ontario, it's IT, it's business. In BC, it is business and I think medical. In Nova Scotia, it's fishery. So take a look at that. Take a look at the different province that you want, like what their needs are, the budget, and look for the program. Look how long the program is. Do you want to take a bachelor? Do you want to take a master? Do you want to take a diploma? Then once you do that, then you can go ahead and like apply for it, um, do your schooling, and then it will help you get a job or help you get the number of years that you would need for to be able to work and get these points to work towards a permanent residence. Another thing, I when I applied for my PR, I did have experience from my previous country, so that does help as well. That being said, what helped me get a nomination, because I am under the PNP, is that I got a full-time permanent job in an IT position. So all of these little things kind of like play and ties up into this, but it is something which is it is a long-term thing that you need to think every step of the way. The step starts when you decide which program you want to go and where you want to apply. So that's why I mean, like, it starts from the beginning. And this is for a student visa. I would try to do one on the work permit, because people come on an open work permit. Like, some people come like on a closed work permit, which means sponsorship, which is like the employer is like sponsoring them. that as well. There's different kind of things. So I am more, I again, I'm not an immigration consultant, but I'm more versed, I would say, in student. But that being said, I work with people. I work with I mean, I have colleagues who are immigrant, and I can always ask my friend to help me out, and I will just give you the information that I know. And if ever you have any specific question for me, please, like I said, I don't mind you DMing me, but these kinds of questions, like, you're not the only one asking for that, and it would be super cool if everyone could like talk to anyone, and you can like meet some people as well around you and make friends, and like, yeah, because we're a little community. So that was it for today. I hope you're doing well and the year was all right, and I'll see you in my next video.